Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your time. Before we get started, I want to introduce you to our team. My name is Sojourn Christie.
I'm Gabrielle Johnson. I'm Willow Stone.
I'm Madison Mordecai.
I'm Adrian Mason.
Okay, so regarding the safety concerns of emergency notification at Buono State University, there are three essential elements that are needed to improve it. One's communication, the other one's communication, and I promise you the third one stays the same. It's still communication. Now, you're asking why communication is the most important? Well, if the students don't know there's a danger until it's upon them, it's already too late. They need to know. And it is essential, especially now, that these students understand and are equipped to know when there's danger. You want to know why? Because just yesterday, 27 herders were beheaded by the Islamic State West African Province, which is a separate terroristic group rivaling the Boko Haram. Even though Boko Haram is our main adversary that we assess, that's still a problem, and it proves that there's a prevalent precedent that terrorism never sleeps. And guess what? Our notification system doesn't sleep either, I promise you. So, as we continue here, we're going to show you a three-pronged attack to combat the lack of communication in between our security.
Here's the problem. There is no emergency notification system. Therefore, how will staff, students, and security guards know how to find a safe way to protect themselves, find a safe way to, protect each other? And so, Buono State University is in close proximity to the Nigerian Air Force, which they can call on their military to rely on. They can come faster, they can respond fast, they can help and protect. They have a extensive security of 132 security members, and which is helpful because we need as much security as we need. So the state protocol and tell us to have a good organization, and yes. So our weaknesses: the buildings are spread out and there are unoccupied spaces. Therefore, what if there's an emergency? The communication will take a long time to reach each building, to reach the people. So, and the security staff does not have a structure or manual. So there's no emergency plan on how to notify the students, notify everybody on the campus. The threats to the university. So African regions are vulnerable to terrorist attacks. And one terrorist attack, Boko Haram, they are a violent Islamist extremist group who puts people's lives in danger. And previously they made attacks in the city of Maiduguri, and since Buono State is in the area of Maiduguri, we want to keep it safe as possible and provide what's necessary for the campus, for the security, for the people, for anybody. Because we know education is important, we want to provide our students in all the ways we can. Our opportunities. So we know that the students do not have a close relationship with the security and staff. We want to make sure they build that relationship with their staff. So because there's on-campus threats too, like fights and theft. We want the students to be comfortable to address those issues to the security so they know what to do in order to fix these problems. And we want the students to trust our staff and security.
Alright, you've heard the why is it a problem. Let's see how to fix it. So there's preemptive measures and there's reactionary measures. We mentioned the three-pronged attack for combat to face this earlier. The number one is an awareness and paper campaign that facilitates and blossoms relationships between the staff and the students. So the hope is that they see the posters enough that encourage them to talk to the staff, get to know them, see their families. It'll be talked about more later in the presentation, but that this happens and it facilitates a see something, say something culture inside that university. We're going to provide them with new technology, which are air horns and in-ground sirens. If you can hear a siren, you might not be able to hear a whistle, you might not be able to hear the guy on the bike screaming, but you hear the siren. And follow up, once you get to more preemptive, we're going to spread them out. Each person gets the air horn. When there's a problem, they hear it on the walkie-talkie. They blow that air horn the students then know, alert, everyone's been alerted, and then they start to disperse. All right.
With our plan, Forno University will be able to gain more advantages from our plan, such as being able to use a quicker response time. This meaning they will have a notification system that they will be prepared with so that they can use in a time of crisis. Second, we will want to implant a better equipment for the security, such as air horns and alarm sirens that will be placed into the ground. Lastly, we would like to implement better student-staff relationships within the university so that they can build a sense of trust and feel safe when they're there at the university. With that being said, we also do have some disadvantages with this. That being the spacing between the buildings, which may not work with our air horns and alarm sirens. Also, if the student-staff relationships do not work out, it will not be used in the long run.
So, this is our plan. So the first step to our plan is to purchase new equipment and new technology for the staff and security to use. And our second plan is to train the staff and security on how and when to use said equipment. Step 3 is to implement our plan so that we can make sure that the students, teachers, and security feel more safe on campus.
So we are budgeting $600 to purchasing air horns and alarm sirens. So that is 70 air horns for each of the staff members at $5 each, and then 2 alarm sirens for opposite sides of campus at $110 each. And our budget is justified by the need to alert the whole campus so that they can take the necessary actions to help protect and save lives. And so our air horns will be used by the security guards. All of them will have them on their bodies. And so when they see something, they can blow them so people near them can hear. They aren't long range, so they can only be heard from about a couple hundred yards away. And then we have 2 ground sirens, which will be placed on opposite sides of campus, and they are manually activated. And once both of them are activated, they will be able to, you can hear them throughout the whole area.
So this is a poster that we've created to help the relationships between staff, security, and students. Students are advised to get to know the security and ask them about their jobs to help their relationships. It also mentioned in the poster that if the students respect and trust security, they can inform them about any suspicious activity that they've seen or witnessed.
So in the end, the whole idea is quick, swift implementation of these devices. These are things that we can provide them right now, because there's real life issues happening right now. We provide them these 2 necessary things, air horns and in-ground sirens. We believe if they spread out on campus, that it will create a much safer environment. Thank you.
Go. Okay. You guys did phenomenal. Everything made sense. It was crystal clear. The plan was simple. It was easy to understand. And it adhered to the general rule of keep it simple, stupid, which I think we actually discussed briefly, right? And the only question I have is about the practicality of having them carry these around on their person, because I see the picture, it looks larger than your normal air horn because of how long that tube goes. I'm thinking, is he going to be walking around with this dangling on the hip, or is he going to go in a backpack? I like practical things like that, so it's just a me thing, but I'd like to
If I can explain that, we're hoping that they have a belt
and they're going to have the walkie-talkie, their phone, and this thing on their person. And it's also helped to identify, so you can see the security staff, and you're like, oh, he has this giant big red thing on. Oh, there's the security staff. So it's really
Even
good.
better. So that's a double whammy.
Yeah.
And so it'd be cool if you could have addressed that a little more. But I like that you thought of it. And it'd be cool if you had it in the presentation that you thought of it, so that you're kind of comforting worried people like me. I like the three-prong approach. Somebody over here wants to be an attorney, right? So that's good. What else? The list, the plan. You had the advantages. 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. That was great. And then the next slide, you had the disadvantages. You had 2 disadvantages and 3 advantages. And 2 is less than 3, so that's good. Right? What else? And then one more side note is that last slide you had, or second to last. You talked about fostering the relationship between the staff and the kids. That's great. I think it's going to help everybody. I think it's a little maybe outside of the scope of the specific task you're working on. It's kind of just like an afterthought. But I think it's worth digging into if you have any opportunity between now and whenever you show it off to the customer. But good job.
Thank you.
Oh, I get to go next. Okay, great job. You came right out of the hatch. You got our attention. Everybody knew their role, and you all conveyed the information you needed to. So good job on that. I like your plan. You thought it out. I'm kind of with you on the awkwardness of carrying that around, but if it works, maybe the next thing they can get is some kind of backpack that they all get to carry or something. I don't know. But I really the psychologist in me likes the fact that you acknowledge that the students and the security staff have to have a better relationship. They have to trust each other. And I think anything you can do to foster that is time and money well spent. So I'm glad you thought of that because it contributes to overall security if they're willing to talk to each other about it. So good job. Thank you.
Guys, amazing. You're the last group, but actually it's worth it that you become last. Anyway, I've never seen the what do you call it?
Air horn?
Air horn. So how does it work? Does it work one time or
You can blow it pretty frequently. You can just hold down on it, and it has the oxygen tank at the bottom of it, and it goes until it runs out.
Okay, so it's something that you can continue using.
Yeah.
It's not like if you press it and if the air
It's
just
not
goes,
one time.
it's
No.
not a one time.
No, you can
Okay.
use it for a long time.
That's my concern. You find my question. So this is really important, and I see the reason why. Because I was given the thought that why not use the siren in multiple buildings? But then I realized that to turn them on at the same time, it's really going to be a lot of work, and using the air horn, it's really a smart idea that you see something right now, boom, you're going to blow it up. And having a multiple security persons to have that, it's a smart idea because if this one actually blow it, I'm just going to respond. So it's all over the place. So you disadvantage that it's going to take time and stuff like that, but definitely if I hear it, I'm going to blow it mine. It's just wasted, just to create the awareness. So your ideas are actually simple and straightforward. I really love it, and how you were able to technically explain how it's going to work and talk about the student relationship. It's always a big gap. I realize that in the university, they don't have a simple way of communicating. But creating that medium or system where they can understand each other and have trust is something that I really want to see work. Because if that works, your project is perfect. And you have made a great achievement. So congratulations, guys. I don't care if they're going to have a backpack or whatsoever, let them just carry that on because all what we care about is the safety. If they can carry guns, just remember, the military can carry guns. That's not as heavy as guns, right? So, I definitely believe with them because carrying things around, if you have so many things, it's going to be disturbing, especially when you have a 12-hour shift, So, but we're trying to see how we can be able to minimize that. So you guys have great ideas. Congratulations, and I'm really excited that we were able to all sit down and listen to all this amazing presentation at the end of the day. And you wrapped it up with making it so amazing. So congratulations, and I'm really proud of you. Thank you, guys.